So you have to be patient because you want to see them like do it, go through the whole process. But you have to also respect that they are also in their own journey. They're also making their own decisions. They're also feeling the effects of the decisions they make. So as much as you want to, come on, let's go all the way to the end, you have to be patient with them and their decisions and respect their decisions.
What's going on? Welcome to the School Site Corner. We're here again for another episode of an ETG session. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Goddess Leah. Goddess Leah, she's the founder of a business, and we'll talk about that. But she's also a mother to a senior in high school. And she's none other than my oldest sister. So welcome, Leah, Goddess Leah. Let's get it going.
Thank you.
So as I mentioned, you have your business. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that is, and we'll kind of go from there?
Well, I own the Rooted Tree, and the Rooted Tree it encompasses different small businesses. I sell their product under my umbrella. So I also make a body butter, and I sell that under the Rooted Tree. I have sea moss, I have sages, but I also sell like one of my clients, he has beard oil. I have another client that have sprays. I have another client that had candles. So what I'm trying to do is pretty much give small business owners a path or leverage that nobody gave me, and let them get their product out there to other audiences and stuff like that. So that's how the Rooted Tree was born. And like I said, I started out just doing body butter called whippy cream, and I was just selling that, and I was like, hold on, how can I help other small businesses propel them in the community inside that? So that's how the Rooted Tree was born.
Yes, and I can attest strongly to the whippy cream because I keep a couple of tubes or a couple of tubs handy. This stuff is amazing. It's great to kind of, for my skin, I get dry skin. So this right here, it moisturizes it, but I also use it head to toe. So you see I'm bald here, and it moisturizes my head, but head to toe, I can attest to that. You brought all these other people on because you want to help them succeed.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from, just within you? Where does it come from?
Just dealing with the trials and tribulations of being a small business owner in the community. You don't have a lot of avenues for people to help you or for people to give you a chance. So that's what I wanted to kind of extend. Rooted Tree, I wanted to extend into the community to other small business owners and give them a chance to spread their wings, to see their clients, to see their audience and things of that nature.
Okay. So I have more questions about that and some of the products that you talked about, especially sea moss, just because up until recently you introduced that to me. But you are what I would consider someone who's pretty natural. You have a lot of natural products, a lot of things that are not no BS, if you excuse my French, but they're very natural. So you have a garden in your backyard, and you talk a lot about providing for others and having something that others can build on. But you yourself are pretty self-sufficient. You have your business, you have your garden. Can you talk to us about what that garden is?
The garden is my blissful place. It not only grows fruits and, well, not fruits, I was planting the seeds, but it not only grows vegetables, but it also is my place to kind of center myself, my blissful place, my tranquil, my oasis. It was a little box, and then each year I kept extending it. So now it's all the way over to the fence. But I just go out there for peace, for mindfulness, to kind of gather myself together. So it's more than just the vegetables. It also is a place for me to come back to my homeostasis.
Mm-hmm. And I have a small garden. I've had success with growing certain things in the dirt. Raised garden beds I'm not so good with. What are some things that what are some things that you maybe take from gardening that you kind of generalize towards life?
So plant seeds. And just because you're covered over with dirt don't mean you won't shine and bloom one day. What else do I take from the garden? Zen, peace. No matter the weather, you're gonna make it through. You're gonna bloom. What else? That's pretty much it. Gardening is a very surreal experience, because you get to see something that, like I said, a little seed and grows into a tall plant. Let me give you an example. So I put little seeds of kale last year and looked like it was dying. It came up a little bit. It didn't really give me what I was thinking, kind of like a little stalk. But this year it's blossoming. I mean, both of them, strong, hard stalks, big leaves of kale, just blossoming. And that's corresponds with life. Sometimes we feel like we are dying. Sometimes we feel like we can't go on. Sometimes we need more water. We need more nutrition. We need more different elements from the universe. And then we get it and we flourish, we bloom, we just succeed. So that's what it is. That's the
I'm over here getting,
correspondence of it.
I'm over here getting excited because it's like I feel the energy, and I agree completely to where you may not see the results right then, but
Yeah.
if you tend to it, if you continue to pull the weeds out, make sure it's nourished, then over time you will see the fruits of those seeds that started out a long time ago.
And patience. You got to have patience gardening, because like you said, you don't see the seeds. I mean, you don't see the fruits of your labor sometimes, but if you continue to have patience, continue to like to nourish and to continue to pour into the plant. And I actually talk to my plants because they are alive just like we are. So I talk to them, I meditate on them, I do Reiki on them and stuff like that to help them flourish and grow just like you do a little human being, which is your children or whatever. So that's the correspondence.
And you don't have a little child anymore. Your
No.
little child is a senior in high school right now. What's that like as a mom of a senior in high school?
It's a, once again, it's a real, I'm going through a phase of surrealness.
Okay.
Because I watched this young man grow from a child to, he's pretty much an adult now. He'll be 18 in October. But to take all the stuff that we've poured into him and to manifest it and to see it come to fruition is very humbling experience. So with him right now, we're riding on his coattail of whatever he wants to do, what direction he wants to go in. We're just, whatever you want, the doors are open. And he has definitely planted many seeds to where right now everything is just flourishing into him and abundance and stuff like that. He got the culinary going on. He's in Upward Bound. He's going to apply for the Gates Scholarship. He's also traveling and things to that nature. He's working for himself. Just doing, he got his hands in a lot of different stuff. That way, when he sits down and focuses and say, hey, I like that experience, let me embark on that a little more, I like that, he has that. So that's one thing we try to instill in him is try it. You just never know. You never know the experience, and you never know who you might meet and connect with to propel you to somewhere else.
Yeah, you never know what opportunity is going to actually pay forward.
That's true.
So that's something that you started with him as a young child, yes. And now he's approaching 18, and you see it kind of taking a life of its own. And so with you talking about patience, how has that played a role in maybe some of this development?
Patience, because when we, like, couple of activities he started his taekwondo, and he got all the way to the end to get his black belt, and he stopped. And then he went into flight school, I think it's called Air Force or something like that, and got up there, and he was like, I'm scared of heights. So you have to be patient, because you want to see them like go through the whole process, but you have to also respect that they are also in their own journey. They're also making their own decisions. They're also feeling the effects of the decisions they make. So as much as you want to, come on, let's go all the way to the end, you have to be patient with them and their decisions, and respect their decisions also too. With Chavis, we have a very strong communication bond with him, to talk with him, to see why he stopped, see where he want to go further in, see what was the apprehension before he pursue this and won't go all the way to the end, why he keep changing his mind. So we keep up with him. We definitely keep a open dialogue with him so we can kind of understand where he's going.
A lot of that, like, it makes sense when you look at the bigger picture of things, to where it's like, all right, you plant these seeds, but at the end of the day, you have to trust the work that you're putting in, to where, all right, you may make mistakes because,
Yes.
having a business to where it's like not everything works out the first time, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to learn from those mistakes. And so that you guys have an open dialogue, that's where you're able to really see that growth, to where, in a sense, you learn from your mistakes and you're
Yes.
able to kind of evolve from them.
Yes.
Okay. Um, you talked earlier about your garden and, having that Zen place.
Mm-hmm.
People out here that listen to this podcast, they have children, and a lot of times things just get stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You know very well that affirmations play a huge part in how you set yourself up. How has that allowed you to kind of be who you are right now, which is this, I would say, a very successful mother in the right of where your child is, where you're at in life?
Mm-hmm.
How has affirmations played a part in just your well-being?
I can't live without it. I just can't. And I have programmed my brain and my way of life. Every day I say some shape, form, or fashion affirmations, whether it's through a group I'm in, whether it's through writing it to myself, whether it's saying it in the shower. It's like I need it like air. I have to do it every single day in some shape, form, or fashion. And I sometimes it, like you said, patience. It don't always come right then, but I have faith that if I continue to program my mind, if I continue to speak it, if I continue to feel it, if I continue to go on this journey, that eventually it's going to transpire, because I only believe energy attracts like energy. So
Mhm.
if I'm putting in the work, it has no choice but to even up, to make sense, to come together. It has no choice, because it's a magnet.
Mhm. And to some extent, there's a lot of faith involved with that, to where it's like, maybe you can't explain why you believe it's going to happen. It's just, like you said, a magnet. You can't see why they're attracted, but there's some unseen force that's pulling those things together.
Exactly.
And so I too believe in affirmations. I say them all the time. Consciously every day I go through some form of affirmation speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, we're part of an affirmations mastermind group.
Mm-hmm.
But you also talked to me a little bit before this call about a book that you have coming out related to affirmations. Can you talk to us about what that is? And
I'm about halfway finished completing my book of affirmations. It's going to have affirmation pretty much for each day of the week, with a insert or a story from my life that goes with an affirmation that you could read, and you could just, refer back to it. You ain't got to read it in order. You could read it however you want to, but like I said, I'm in the middle of it. So I hopefully be complete pretty soon. I don't have a release date or anything like that yet, but it's definitely in the making, and I'm finishing it up.
okay. I had another guest on here, and we talked about the process of getting her book published and everything. And so I know that it's a process. I
Yes.
would encourage you to go ahead and set that date,
Yeah.
whatever that may be. Put that date so you have that end goal and you can reverse engineer. But
True.
a book is definitely in the works, so we can
Mm-hmm.
be on the lookout for something in the future, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Now, as it relates to, I'm gonna go back to your child real quick. Your 18-year-old, soon to be 18-year-old senior. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Him, looking at him where he's at now, he's pretty independent, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things, if I were to talk to him and, actually break some things down as far as how he's lived life, what are some things that you think he would tell me has been like beneficial for him?
What do I think he would tell you has been beneficial? One, allowing him to spread his wings. Two, and this is a recent lesson with him. He was money driven, and I told him, I said, do what you love, the money will come. If you
Mm,
do it the opposite, you'll be owed making money. You'll probably make millions of dollars, but you'll be hating what you do. So do it, like you just said, reverse engineering. Do it the other way around. And so now, as he's doing that, like I said, the doors are opening up. So I think that's the most recent lesson that he has learned about going forth with his passions and things like that. And then the money and opportunities and the networking and things like that will naturally fall into place, instead of driving forth on the money tip, because he's actually in a sweet spot right now. Being a senior in high school, not too much is demanded from you, world wise or parent wise or whatever. So you're
mhm.
in a sweet spot where you're not paying no bills, but you kind of figuring stuff out and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, ride that as long as you can. I said, because once you become a full-fledged adult, some of those doors stop closing. They do, because people look at you like, you gonna get yours, I'm trying to get mine. You on your own, So That's the most recent lesson. Anything else he would say, besides let him spread his wings? He does a really good job with listening to elder people. And when I say elder, I don't mean just the old people. I'm talking about people that are 10 years older than him, or 5 or 20 or whatever. He does a really good job of intaking their information and taking their experiences and kind of keeping in mind and reflecting back to it. Yeah. As you know, he talks to you, he talks to my other sisters and uncles and things like that. And he really keeps that, he really hones in on things like that, the advice and stuff that y'all give him. So that's been a really big part of his growth.
And me looking outside in, once again, I have 2 young children, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. And to see where he started out at this young age and kind of see where he's blossomed to, it's like, man, he gets deep. And a lot of times you don't see that with high schoolers.
Yeah.
You don't see them having that reflective gene to, look at how they're moving about and how they're doing certain things to grow from it. But the fact that he does, it's like, I have to take a note out of that page somewhere and kind of apply it. And so, that's what I look to you for a lot of times, is wisdom. You bring that to the table. So I do appreciate that. And so as we get ready to wrap things up here, I want everyone that's listening to kind of know where they can find you, where they can find some of your things that you put out there with this store that you talked about, the Rooted Tree. So could you share with us where they can find this at?
You can go online to therootedtree.com. You can find me there, and you can also find me on Instagram with Life with Goddess Leah, and Life is spelled Lyfe, Life with Goddess Leah, because under my Instagram page, I'm showing all aspects of my life. I'm showing my gardening, I'm showing the rooted tree stuff, I'm showing my affirmations, I'm showing just how I live. People are interested in just how I live. So I'm just putting it all under one umbrella and putting it under Life with Goddess Leah on Instagram.
Okay. I'll make sure I have these links available in the show notes so anyone can follow up. And then, like I mentioned, I wanted to touch base with that sea moss. Can you tell me exactly what that is and what that's good for? Just because it's something new and it's kind of different if you've never heard of it, but shed some light on that.
Sea moss it has 109 minerals in it, come from the sea, but it's minerals that your body needs. It's also good for inflammation, cleaning out mucus out your body, building up your immune system. It has a myriad of different benefits for you. All I do is I take a shot a day. You can either get it in the pack where it's dried and you put it in water yourself and let it hydrate, or you can just buy it in the jar where I make a gel out of it. But it's unlimited in the benefits that it has for you, because it does a lot of stuff, especially, like I said, clearing out mucus from people that eat a lot of dairy and things like that, building up the immune system, because a lot of people's immune systems are compromised right now. So definitely putting that into your daily regimen so you can build that up is definitely beneficial.
Okay, I appreciate that. A lot of times I talk about coming at things from a holistic perspective. You can take care of, how you're feeding and eating and certain things, and you can take care of your mental well-being. And so a lot of these strategies that you talk about, like healthy eating and some of these natural supplements and things that you're talking about, they are just another piece of the puzzle. And so anyone listening, know that this can be something you can add into your daily regimen to give you whatever benefits it may provide for you. Everyone's going to be different, but we have success just from her taking it. I take, like I say, I use the whipping cream. I have great skin because of that. So find whatever benefit you need from it and then take it from there.
Yeah, it's just one step. Everybody sometimes gets overwhelmed with trying to do so much so soon. Take little steps. You can even put sea moss in smoothies. People that drink smoothies, put it in your soup and stuff like that, because it's tasteless. It don't have a taste unless you add in fruits or something to it. But do little steps, do little things. If you don't want to do a big old garden, get your little cup, put your little dirt in it, a little seed, start small. You ain't got to go out there and clear the whole yard out. Start small, but start.
Yeah. You heard it from her, Goddess Leah. Get started today. I love it. So thank you for sharing your time and wisdom with us today. Like I said, follow up with her on Instagram. Go check out the Rooted Tree. And until next time, you guys, take care.
All right. Peace, y'all.